This is your host, Alicia Simone, and you are listening to Spills. Okay, we are bringing it back as always, and we are always doing what? Doing better. If you're new here, this is a self improvement, self help, self love with a twist, a beautiful twist. We giggle, we yap, we chat, and we spill, and we sip tea. Sip tea is so good that the British are trying to shut this podcast down, ladies, gents. We cannot have that happening, okay? But let's get to the spills. I was listening to this audiobook, by the way. I love audiobooks. You guys should probably start doing them. If you're not, if you have a Spotify subscription, you can get them for free. And no, this isn't a Spotify ad. This is just a Spotify junkie who just learned that you can do that. Like, what am I doing? And are people still paying for libraries still nowadays? Anyways, okay, let's get to the topic. Today's topic, I'm calling it, it's definitely a Moni talk, a Moni theory. I'm calling it exaggeration and dramatization, okay, in a positive manner, in a manner to self-help, to improve, and everything in that nature, okay? I was listening to Lewis Howes, I think it was chapter 15, and he's talking, and sometimes when you're listening to the audiobooks and you're like listening, okay, and then something hits you and you're like, oh, okay, let me back up. That's what was happening. And he was talking, and he got super out of the ordinary. He was talking about making your goals, and if you didn't achieve your goal, like somebody that you love is going to die or something. It was something that crazy, like where it grabbed my attention, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what the bleep, what did he just say? And so of course, I rewind, and then I'm like, okay, that's a little unhinged. I like you, Lewis. I like you, Lewis. But then I'm like, wait, that got my attention, and maybe it's supposed to get the unhinged attention. Who knows? But as I'm listening, as it's got my attention, and I'm listening more to him, he's like, and obviously, that's over exaggerating, but still. And I paused there, and I was like, you know what? As a person who's grown up being called a drama queen and exaggerative, which I could be, let me apply this to my life. Let me apply this to my mission. Let me apply this to my purpose. And this is why it's a Moni talk, but it is a spills, because at the end of this episode, you're going to be like, T, 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 T. Okay, here's what I am saying, and here's where I'm getting at. Let's talk first off your mission. When you don't know your mission, you're not going to be able to examine where you are at or where you are heading to. In order for you to analyze and examine where that is at, you have to go towards your mission. Now, where dramatization comes in. Dramatization is always like perceived as just some negative thing. Oh, you're being dramatic. Oh, no, it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, now apply that to your life. Apply that to your goals. Apply that to your mission. It's not being dramatic. One thing that you do have is control of your life. Yes, things happen that are out of your control, but you have the opportunity to heal from that, to go out and seek support. You are always in control, no matter in regards to what. So how is somebody going to tell you that you're being dramatic about something when it's pertaining to your mission in life, to your purpose, to fulfilling your goals, to even learning what goals you have? You can't tell somebody that they're being dramatic. I that's like somebody coming to me and being like, I wanted to do this and it didn't turn out that way. And I'm gonna be like, why are you even tripping? Like, why are you tripping that you didn't get the audition that you've been wanting this whole entire time? You're being dramatic. That right there is not a dramatization on your end. That is proof that that person does not understand who you are, where you're headed to, and what you're trying to do. That wouldn't be perceived as a dramatization. Now, am I telling you that they need to be like, oh my God, you're You're nothing. What? You've been wanting this your whole entire life. That sucks. Oh, oh, you're going to get them next time. No. Okay. Now that is just lack of compassion or empathy, just as the same as well. Um, but you have to be a support for that person. Um, and not tell them that their life is a dramatization. And as you, as that person, can't perceive that what they're telling you, that person is telling you that you're being dramatic about your mission, your goals, what desires that you have. You can't let them. And if somebody is telling you that, which people will, because the thing is no matter your friends, your family, your loved ones, your spouse, people are always going to try to throw opinions at you that you did not ask for, ever. You never ask for it and it's never going to end. And unfortunately, that's just how life is. But if you're perceiving yourself, your goals, where you're headed, what these things that you've been doing as not being a traumatization, but being like, this is my life, this is my control, this is my mission, those opinions can't do shit. Literally, those opinions cannot do anything. You can call me a drama queen. You can call me a drama king. You can say that I over exaggerate and I over exaggerate about things because I don't get my way. It's not that I'm over exaggerative about my not getting my way. It's not. I understand it as a speed bump that I may have to slow down. I may have to pause and wait real quick. It is not my time to take my turn here. But that does not mean that I am dramatic. And that does not mean that I'm going to quit. What that means for being dramatic is saying, you know what? That was shit. As shitty as it was shit. People are gonna be like, no, it was. No, it was shit. I didn't fail, but it was shit. So what's next? The drama, though, being a drama, like for me, being a drama queen, to be labeled as a drama queen, a drama king, it's when you literally don't get your way in something that you didn't desire, that you didn't create a goal for, that you didn't have plans for, that you didn't feel was your purpose and your mission. And then when you don't get that way, materialistic or whatever it may be, then they shut down. And that's when they cry and they fuss and they kick their feet. That is the mindset of what a drama queen or a drama king is, or you're being dramatic. If somebody is telling you you're being dramatic because you're expressing your feelings about something that is requiring you to go a different way, take a different turn, slow the hell down, and that wasn't expected for what you wanted, and you have to release that or you have to make that known for yourself because you do. Sometimes you just got to sit with yourself and be like, oh, yep, that shit happened. I remember me looking at submissions of applying for castings, waiting, looking, finally getting their casting happened. Somebody submitted it, they got it. Not me. Well, that shit happened and that sucked. And I expressed to my friend, God, procrastination, I'm pleading for myself. I'm saying it is my fault that I did this. And I have to do better. You're being dramatic. You know what, sis? And you're not getting it. And this isn't even the point of was I am on my hands and knees crying. I'm not gonna make it. No, I was taking my own accountability for something that did not go obviously the way that I wanted, that I had been talking about. But that isn't my own justice. For you to call me dramatic is crazy. It's crazy. Now, if I'm throwing hands and knees, like, how did I not get the part? How did they not choose me? Like, oh my God, that's freaking dramatic because, girl, you didn't submit the casting. What do you mean? Like, you didn't submit the casting. That's exactly why they didn't choose you. That's dramatic. That's crazy. Okay. But if somebody's come in here, say a friend, a supporter, a mentor, family, whatever it's going to be, and calls your desires, your dreams, your mishaps dramatic, is crazy. I just want to let you know. I just want to let everybody know that. And so when the author was talking and he was like, that's probably, a dramatic way of saying something. I was like, fucking love dramatic. I love dramatic, and I love dramatic so much that you guys can continue to call me dramatic, okay? But I'm gonna apply this to the self improvement of my life because my stuff is dramatic to me. Me to find my mission, that is dramatic to me. And now following through with this exaggeration. So when he said I was exaggerating, but I love exaggerating. Okay, I love exaggerating. And I thought, wow, his exaggeration really caught my attention. It really actually made me make this podcast that I'm making right now. That's how much and motivational his exaggeration was for me to get up off my ass and make this freaking podcast episode and bring spills back, baby. So thank you, Lewis Howes. The Greatness Mindset. Unlock the power of your mind and live your best life today is the best freaking book ever. I'm gonna put it down below. But what caught my attention was his exaggeration. And as a woman who likes to exaggerate and just supposedly whatever you guys claim, I mean, it's hard to beat the exaggeration allegations when you're actually exaggerative. But remember, in Spills, Moni's theory, we're applying this to self-help. We're applying this to our journey, okay? So we talked about dramatization. Now, this exaggeration part that Lewis Howes got me really up on is how motivating it was because it was exaggerative as hell. Okay, it was. I think he had said imagine that you live in this world where they base your fate, your life, on your productivity list. So he said, so every year they come around and so you set this productivity list, like these 3 goals or whatever, and these main goals. And then, so you obviously have these micro tasks to get to this main goal. Every year, these officers come around and they look at your list and see how productive you've been against towards these goals. And if you haven't, they kill you. And I'm thinking to myself, like, holy freaking crazy unhinged. Oh my God, I'm getting excited. But then I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get killed. Let me make this podcast episode. The hell? And then it had me thinking, exaggeration does it for me. I remember being a little girl and I told my therapist this, and this is how I found out that I had like generalized and social anxiety. As a kid, as a little girl, if I was thinking something in my head, I wouldn't want to say it. And so in order for me to say it to somebody or say it out loud, if I wanted something, if I wanted to ask somebody something, I would tell myself in my head, if you don't say it, you're not going to be able to, sounds crazy, but you're not going to be able to have kids. Or, yeah, you're not going to be able to have kids. Or you have a child. Like these crazy exaggerative things for me to say something. And I already have a therapist, okay? So don't even come at me. But it's into the point of exaggerative shit has to happen in order for me to get something going. And whether that exaggeration is minimal, like a due date, okay, or a bill or a payment, that is that. But this exaggeration in his book really got me thinking about like, what am I doing right now? And if they did come to my crib in a year, they would have killed me. And I think back, damn, they would have killed me back in 2019. So I want to be alive 2021, 22. I wouldn't be here if that was the real rule where they came around every year and based your life off of your productivity. Dramatization and exaggeration, they are these deemed bad things. And in Spills, I love to always take out the taboo and put it in and make it and apply it to us because it's not taboo anymore, baby. It's Spills. Okay, Spills said so. And I want you to understand that if somebody's saying that something that you want in your life, that you think, that you believe is your purpose, that you believe is powerful to you, that's driving you in the right pathway, the right mission, the right purpose, something that you freaking love, something that is true to you, and you say it just like sparingly, and somebody says you're dramatic, or you're out of the way for responding or even wanting that, screw them, respectfully. not the people that you want around. And the thing is this, the next episode or another episode, I'm going to talk. There's times people in your life are just things that you don't share your shit with. And if they want to bring it up, hey, how's this? How's that? You just answer with vagueness and change the topic. And they're still in your life, but just not in that mission that you have. And we'll talk about that in the next episode. But then the exaggeration part, if you need to exaggerate to get shit going, exaggerate. Because the thing is it is important. It is so important for you to find your mission. Exaggerate yourself. Exaggerate what your life could be when you succeed in this mission. Exaggerate what your relationships could be if you decided to quit your job and go and fully do full time and give your full efforts into your side gig. Think and exaggerate. For me, I want to be in front of the cameras. Exaggerate, Simone. Think what it would be like for me to freaking be in Hollywood getting invited, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys, please, cameras. Oh my gosh, no. And then I get to go on stage and uplift and empower and impact. And now it's not even just about the income. It's never about the income. It's about the influence and it's about the impact. And I was exaggerative as fuck about it. Okay. And I got there. And you're going to get there and you're going to think, remember when you called me dramatic? Remember when I thought I was exaggerating? You can call me what you want, but you can't call me exactly. That's what you have to do, is take these taboo words, these bad, oh, just this and that, and apply it in the right way. Words are powerful, and if applied appropriately, you can use them to uplift, empower, provide love, support, and succeed with them. The last thing that I do want to say is we are back, baby. Okay, we are so much better. I want you to be able to love your mission, your purpose, your micro tasks so much that when somebody's like, that's dramatic, say you're foolish. Say you're not doing enough. Sometimes it's when somebody's like, you're being dramatic, and be like, and you're not doing enough. And you're not doing enough, sis. Spills, And if somebody's like, oh, exaggerating, you're thinking, no, like, come to reality, exaggerate. I'm sorry. No, baby. Because you have to think big to get big. I can't be like, you can't apply and be like, yeah, I want to be the busser. You know what? I'm gonna own this damn business one day. I'm gonna bust my way up into the business. There's no business without busser. Wait, there's no business without bus. You know what I'm saying? There's never an exaggeration when it comes to your mission and your purpose. Ever. Remember what Spills says. Okay? Spills the tea. We are we. There ain't no exaggeration. There ain't no dramatization, okay? Because we are that girl. You are that guy. It's our mission. Period. XOXO.